Shalom and welcome back to the tea table, my friends. I feel confident that there will be many words from the Lord in 2016. And I'm equally confident that many of the words that will be coming forth will be from the Lord and will be right on the money for many believers. Notice I said many and not all words will be from the Lord. What do I do and how do I handle a word that I believe is from the Lord? Well, if it's from the Lord, then you take it back to the Lord, since He's the one who sent it, and ask Him, Lord, is this from you? And if it is, show me what to do with it. And if it isn't for me, help me to lay it aside or just eat the meat and throw away the bones. The other day I was sitting and just looking out the window, and I believe I heard the Lord speak a word to me concerning 2016. And so in obedience, I share this word with you. I heard the Lord say, don't be distracted. The smallest intentional move towards me will have the biggest return on your investment. Just don't be distracted. This will be a season of unveiling and revealing as you draw closer to me. I will unveil in a fresh way that which already exists and reveal that which is new. You know, as I thought about this word, not only was I convinced that it was absolutely true, but I also saw the wisdom behind the word. What does distracted mean? It means to be preoccupied, confused, or sidetracked. If we are preoccupied, confused, or sidetracked in chasing after the real, the genuine, or the authentic focus of our attention, we then end up chasing after the counterfeit. You know, sidetracked is a great word when it comes to chasing after God. When we chase after God, we are on track. When we chase after anything else other than God, we are off track or sidetracked. The enemy would love to get the children of the living God to be sidetracked and to chase after everything else other than what's really needed and important. As a matter of fact, we can become so distracted that we even forget the original purpose or plan that was spelled out for each and every one of us. One thing for sure, 2015 was a crazy year. We saw an increase in terrorism around the world and even within our own wonderful country. Many looked to the skies to see if the blood moons were a sign of the end of the world. We saw many nations turn their backs on Israel, including our own nation. We saw a man get a Woman of the Year award because he became a her. We saw wars and rumors of wars in the Middle East, ending with thousands of refugees coming to other nations around the world, and as a result, the crime rate in those countries soared through the roof. And yet, the truth is still the truth. For the saved in Christ, everything we see around us is all of hell that we will ever see, and for the unsaved, it is all of heaven that they will ever see. For the saved, it can't get any worse, and for the unsaved, it can't get any better. That's a scary thought. So how do we get distracted from pressing into the deeper things of God? The same way that Peter got distracted, by taking his eyes off the Lord and putting them on what seemed like a mountain. For him, it was the wind and the waves. For many of us, it's the pressures at home with family members or expenses trying to make ends meet, or the government, or the problems that Israel is facing, or terrorism in this country, or even the mass killings in schools or malls or even in the churches. Let me tell you, I'm guilty of being distracted with these things also. But admitting that I'm also guilty doesn't justify my being distracted and taking my eyes off of the Lord. It just reveals to me personally that I must believe what I believe, and that is God is in control, and all my complaining about the government doesn't make the government right. The Bible tells us to pray without ceasing. If it said whine without ceasing or complain without ceasing, I would have arrived having been very obedient. But it doesn't tell us that. Prayers can change things, not complaining or whining about issues. You see, praying is on track, but whining and complaining is really being distracted. And God said, don't be distracted. Major events are not the only distractions that cause us to take our eyes off of the Lord. Sometimes it's the small things in life that cause us to become sidetracked. Oftentimes, programs and schedules or promises that we made can get us to become preoccupied with life. We go through our daily life trying to check off a to-do list that we established for ourselves. And if and when we fall behind, we get distracted trying to catch up. Truly, we need to make the main thing, and seeking God's face must be the main thing and the object of our desire. A great way to get on track seeking God came to me personally through an old movie I saw many years ago called Oh God. And one of the sayings in the movie was to think God. What that did for me was to develop a Christ-centered, God-fearing awareness that in all times and in all places I could think God and invite Him into what was going on in my life at that very moment. I wasn't distracted by the winds and the waves or the pressures of life because I knew that God was in control of all of my out-of-controls. As Nick, a friend of mine, is fond of saying, God is the forgiver of my past and the leader of my future. If you make the investment of spending more time seeking God's face and hearing His voice, this will be the most exciting year of your life. And with that, I leave you with this. Yevarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha. Ye'er Adonai panavilecha v'honecha. Yisa Adonai panavilecha ve'yesemlecha shalom. The Lord bless you and protect you. The Lord cause the light of His face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord turn all of His attention upon you and give to you the peace of God. See you next week, my friends, at the tea table.